So what a lot of people don't know, I know a lot of people claim that we aren't battle tested. We walked out of a very good fall ball league. We were able and fortunate enough to win that league with some really good teams. We've seen some pretty good teams within the state. So I kind of seen it forming. And then a quick turnaround. We wasn't that big of a layoff. We had maybe a month off, which was good for us because we've been playing all fall. We were able to take some of the good, some of the bad from the fall ball league and, turn that into some positive things. It's pretty much like a surreal feeling for me. My entire family went here. My oldest uncle, who started the Barrino and Blackman Empire, was the first one to walk through these doors and be victorious. And then my second oldest uncle on my dad's side followed right after that. Then my dad followed. Then Rob followed, and then my two cousins, who are my reasons why I started playing basketball, came after that and hung some banners up. So like I said, it's just that full circle moment here. Just coming back, my goal was to come back and give to the inner city youth. I didn't know how I was gonna do that, but I was fortunate and blessed enough to land this job opportunity and just come back and, and this is my way of giving back. Something I love doing, something I grew up doing, this is a part, basketball is a part of my identity. So just coming back to give back and teach the game and, be that light my family was for me and these kids' lives. It's just something that it's bigger than life for me. Like this is something that I'm gonna take to the grave with me. This is something that I'm always walk in pride in. And, just I feel like I'm living in my truth at this point. Anytime you're away from the negatives outside, right? Anytime you get to escape your current reality, meaning, hey, it's easy to get distracted. You can walk outside and your friend can be driving a stolen car and you're tempted to get in that with them, right? You can walk outside and they can be shooting. But this is that time that you're escaping all of the temptation. And what my coaching staff and I do, we do a great job of, okay, when we are finished business in here, we give you door-to-door service. We're those guys that are taking you home. So it's business while we're in here. And then immediately after that, we're back to being those big brothers and that loving some of these kids' fathers. So I just think it's just much bigger than ball for us. We understand that and we just, hold that close to our heart, that basketball is just something that bonds us together. But the overall goal is, to be that outlet for some of these guys. Their comfort zone, just challenging them every day to raise the bar for yourself, not for me, but for yourself, right? Like if you're not comfortable playing defense, I'm going to challenge you to do that because I know I've been to the next level and I know what it takes. I know it starts in the defensive end, especially as a small guard. So just constantly trying to challenge them to go outside their comfort zone is the biggest challenge at times. And then just stay in the course. We just went 22 straight, and it's kind of easy to become complacent because of that. Like you're not really challenging yourself because what you feel like you've been doing for the past 22 games is working. You've been getting by with it. So, like I said, just constantly challenging yourself to be uncomfortable. Saturday, I think Saturday, I wouldn't consider it exposed, but it definitely, it gave us something that we lacked, right? I always preach, hey, fellas, you got to talk. We have to communicate. With a team full of guards, we have to talk. I think that's something that it was proven on Saturday that if you don't talk, this is what happens when you don't talk. When you play quality teams, this is what happened when that's the case, right? You have to play team basketball. I think sometimes we could get into one-on-one basketball, get used to playing one way, and that's not something that's going to win big-time games deeper into the season. As you get deeper into the season, coaches normally scout, right? You start to break down the do's and don'ts, what they can't do, what their strengths are. But if I could get you to do your weaknesses for 26 minutes of the game, I'm going to win that game, right? So I think they forced us to do that. Well, they forced us to do something we didn't want to do. And I think that was the game changer in that game on Saturday. In the first quarter, we came out playing our brand of basketball. As I always say, we do a great job within the first 2 to 3 minutes doing what Coach Nas asks. If that's attacking the kicking, making a play for your brother, helping your brother help you. I think that entire quarter, we did a great job doing that. And I think as the game progressed, we kind of hindered away from that, right? And I always say basketball is a game of runs. You know, you just have to embrace that and embrace that run. And it's how you respond. I don't think we responded too well to the run they made. And I think that's when we got into who we were last year, which that's something I fear. But, I mean, it's just one of those games where we just lost the grip and it came to bite us. One thing my coaches not do provide is a sense of balance. And you can ask every last one of the guys that it's not, we understand that it's not always serious, right? We totally understand that. We were players once, so we definitely understand it. So, you know, like little breaks that we take, maybe a water break, we may slip in a joke or two, right? In the huddle, sometimes we may slip in a joke or two. So we just always provide that balance to where it's not always serious. And I feel like that's what also makes us dangerous, that we want you guys to be yourself. We understand that. We were kids once. We always want you to be a kid first, right? We totally understand that. And it's business. We understand once you walk in these lines, it's business. But even in between these lines, sometimes it's okay to laugh and joke. So it's, you know, just that sense of balance where it's not always strictly business. What a lot of people don't know is my team as a whole, as a cumulative, as a varsity basketball team, is a standard. You have to have above a 3.0 to play, right? As a collective, we have about a 3.3. This past semester, we had about a 3.3 GPA. We had unity, right? You look the same. If we wearing white, you have a white socks. If we're what color sweatsuits, we're all walking in with the same sweatsuit, coats, book bags. So, you know, just that form of, you know, just being unified, looking like your brother. Even us as coaching staff, this past weekend, we all had on the same stuff: black pants, same sneakers, same shirt. So just trying to create that sense of unity where, you know, you look as one and you move as one at all times. Hopefully, it's just creating leaving that legacy, as I always tell them, you know, leave your own legacy, create your own legacy. We have a great opportunity to win out. We have about 6 games left to win our entire group and state, our section. So, you know, just even though we did lose one, just, you know, trying to finish 28-1, that's pretty big. Being a part of a brotherhood that, you know, at some point, you know, I hope these guys get married, and some of these guys on the team are your groomsmen and your wedding. That's the ultimate goal, to always reach back and have those relationships and hopefully form those relationships to where as though these will always be your brothers, no matter what. You know, sometimes people go on different routes where one of these guys could be the CEO of a company. I'm hoping in 10 years from now, somebody on this team can pick up the phone and call that guy and say, hey, I need a job. And they're right there to help their brother, string them along and say, I got a job for you right here in this company. So, you know, I hope my message to them is, you know, stay tight, stay close, love on your brother, and you know, never let your high school relationships or the bond that was built in that locker room for the past 4 years go to waste. You know, just always reach back.